yeah, what it was some stupid thing. Like they weren't able to extract the fuel because of some regulation, some bullshit. His P2 went away. I mean, yeah, I understand those are regulations. Like they have to follow the word of law, except for the last race. But
nice. Hello. I know you've missed us. Welcome back to F1 Fanfiction. We are your hosts. I am Akash.
And I'm Sarang.
And today officially marks the end of season 1 as we bring to you a closing episode on our first year and the first time we've done a podcast ourselves and this season, F1 2021. What a season it's been, man. First of all, I want to give a shout out to you guys, the fans out there who've reached out to us, who've constantly listened to us, who've supported us, and been there in our maiden season. So give yourselves a pat on your backs and thank you for being part of this journey and our overall growth. This could not have been possible without you, our fans. Thank you.
Yep, certainly. Buy yourself a beer.
Yes. Sarang, moving on to, anything we do for this closeout episode, but before that, moving on to your thoughts, I wanna get your view on your experience with starting with F1 Fanfiction to begin with, and then how ridiculous to you on a scale of 1 to 10, 2021 has been.
Well, I think starting this podcast, first of all, I think was pretty much just a happy chance, wasn't it, Akash? I think I remember we were just chatting and we just decided that, we anyways bitch and moan about these cases on chat. Why not, just record that shit and just upload it? And thus was, F1 Fanfiction born. So, yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible journey, I think, because what started as something just two friends talking has turned out into something awesome. The support that we have gotten through the year is awesome. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, there were times when we have wondered that why are we doing this, isn't it?
Yes, I'm with you on that.
But it's nice to see people coming back and listening to episodes. It's been a great journey. And the season has been, I think, 10 out of 10 in terms of crazy. I can't have anything else. What about you? What are your thoughts about the podcast? And
the podcast, man. Yes, I again completely agree. There have been days when we've contemplated on it, but putting a mic between our shenanigans was the best thing we've done, I feel, in 2021. As for the season as well, I'd like to give special shout outs to our fireside hosts, Sneha Sharma, Aditya Patel, Advait Deodar, and Anirudh Mendiratta, who started off the fireside series for us. So thank you to those guys. And the season, man, I think it's nothing short of a Bollywood drama. I'm sure Netflix drooling somewhere in their offices right now on the editor's table where they know the season's going to be a blast off and everyone's going to go crazy with this one.
Yeah, though I think that I'm sure they're going to manage to screw it up because even last time when they had so much drama there with Rich Energy and everything, they completely missed that out and, concentrated on some weird topics.
True. But a splendid season nonetheless. Let's get into the teams. Let's go a team by team run through of the season. Why don't you start off us with Merc?
Merc, I think we have to talk about Bottas first because obviously he is the number one driver, isn't it?
He is. I love it.
Hamilton's just there, because to support Bottas. But man, I think Bottas's career ended with that Imola crash with Russell, pretty much.
Dude, and the way he's reacted there, and I mean the other point too, right? He throughout the season, he just felt like he was there to capture and steal those fastest lap points off of Max. So he's there as a person. It felt like I could have been there, but sure, we had Bottas.
Yeah, man. I mean, all the memes that came in. I mean, throughout the season, like about him in general, the bowling ball that he had become in Hungary.
Totally.
It was, yeah. I think like not a great season for Bottas at all. I mean, start of the season he did good, but I think mainly that was just because Perez wasn't comfortable yet.
Yeah.
But I think Perez was kind of beating him later on. So
he was.
I think it was inevitable that Russell is going to come into the Mercedes seat.
True. And speaking of memes, right? Like there's so many good ones that came about for Bottas. He's become a engine collector. He's starting an alternate career as a parts dealer. Anything that goes wrong in the Mercedes garage is Bottas's fault, with his Monaco shenanigan of nuts not coming out and the garage not able to nut themselves.
Completely forgot about that. So much has happened with him that it's difficult to remember everything now.
Right, like it feels like the whole season was shadowed by Max versus Hamilton, but no, the highlight has been Bottas for Mercedes, because he's given so much free PR and publicity to Mercedes that the rivalry could not have.
Yeah, I agree. Though one thing about Bottas, I have to give it to him. That man owns up to his shit, right? Like because, I mean, yes, like people give him a lot of crap of like being the second fiddle and not being able to beat Hamilton, but he owns it. And even on his social media, like he in fact he posts his own memes a lot of times, which is awesome, right? Like it's like if you can't beat them, join them kind of a thing. And I think that's the perfect attitude to
I was just gonna you can't fire me if I quit.
Exactly. And that's pretty awesome. Like that's a great attitude to have, I think, overall, with regards to social media.
True. Merc in general, man. Let's talk about Lewis. I think at the start of the season, we saw him crack under pressure. He saw what a competition Max could be. And we keep talking about him as being like the 7-time world championship driver and could have been 8th and whatnot. But underneath, we see the same young driver that cracks under pressure. There are a few instances, right? Like, what was
Imola,
that?
I think?
Imola, yes.
Yeah. That was terrible. I mean, honestly, when I was watching the race as well, the way he kind of went into the gravel, him reversing back, it was just his luck that he was able to get back to where he got. But he has made a couple of mistakes, and it's weird. I think what happened, he probably underestimated Max. That's what it seems to me, at least in the start of the season.
Yeah.
Because he didn't seem that focused. He didn't seem the Hamilton we know of, at least in the start of the season. Yeah, and we know what happened in the last 4 races, but before that, it was, at one point, I think it felt as if Max was just going to win it, right? Like, because I think before Max's luck started turning sometime at Baku and a few of those incidents, but before that, I think was doing pretty well. Like, so, I think not the best, at least first half of the season by Hamilton.
Speaking of Baku, the magic button debacle and him locking up, going from 1 to last, right? Like that's something that Mazepin would have done.
And that too, when your main competitor is out of the race, straight up out of the race.
The next one is Perez. You're already in the lead on that lights out situation. So But I think I'd summarize Hamilton's season for Mercedes as a two-sided thing. If he's winning, I saw him as, oh, you know what, I did great. You gave me a great car, and the infamous get in there, Lewis. But then if he's losing, man, that guy can crib. My tires are short. This is so unfair. What the fuck? The car was stupid. We need new strategy. Whatever can,
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, It's I think always the case with him in that sense. Actually, every time he's winning, it's all well and good, and yeah, as soon as things start going bad, the blame game starts. I think that in general seems pretty common at Mercedes. That's what it seems to me, and I think that probably. I don't know whether he got that behavior into Mercedes or he learned it from Mercedes, but whatever. But in terms of two sides of him, right? I think the season, as you said, it actually exactly is two sides of him, because first half he was nowhere, and then suddenly it was beast mode on, right? And we know what happened in Brazil. We know what happened in Abu Dhabi, which was just insane. That guy was unstoppable in those two races.
and you are right. I mean, I think you've said this a couple of times too, where you started to become a Hamilton fan. And as much as I dislike him, I think his racing tries to start converting you until he's does any other shenanigans again. But
right.
The beast mode is that conversion thing for you. This guy's something.
Yep. And I think it's just the sheer talent and the sheer raw space that he has right at times, which makes you think this is inhumane, right? It's not possible. No human can do this, very honestly. It seems like he is in some other zone, and those are the moments which I really enjoy watching him. And I totally agree. I hate him for all of his cribbing and crying and all that shit, but kudos to him for when he is right in the zone.
Yeah. And then you have your famous favorite person in the garage, right? Toto.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Who are you talking about? Yes, Toto. Yes, he's a fucking asshole.
But exemplification of how to be a dick on camera by flaunting rules and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think there's been less memes of him than that should have been, for all the mask not wearing thing that he's done throughout the season.
Yeah. And forget mask, definitely, that I have complained about that a lot of times, but ignoring that, even other stuff, right? Throwing Bottas under the bus for the Monaco debacle, there's some weird blame game going on in that team, and I don't think they treat Bottas too well overall. I don't know. I mean, just because you're winning, it's weird. It seems like a toxic place to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, visually it does. I want to see what Netflix got in a scoop out of it, but visually it does feel like there is quite some bias towards Hamilton, and throwing, as you said, people under the bus would probably also be because they need to show themselves strong to Lewis and be like, hey, we can get you that 8th world title for you, sort of thing. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, however, they still won the WCC, so kudos to them for that. I mean, they have dominated the hybrid era, and I think they pretty much have closed off this, set of regulations on the top again. So yeah, kudos to them. Whatever they're doing is working. Yeah.
Winning each year of this hybrid turbo era. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're laughing because we just came back from a cut scene of me blabbering nonsense, but yeah, I got it right this time.
This was okay, folks. This was the 4th try, just so you know.
Oh man. But Bottas's counterpart, Perez. Let's move to Red Bull camp in Perez. What do you think about Perez?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a while, but I think the start of the season was not that good, obviously. But man, even during the start of the season, he was still able to maintain his tires. That was still his strength, and I feel he just went with it. Whatever he was given, he just went with it.
True. There was some complaining coming out of Perez's radios on the lines of more like, hey, these guys race me so hard, but obviously not those words because they have a copyright somewhere else. but yeah, he's definitely stepped up. I think it's just the factor of getting used to that new car. Right? Like there were many shuffles that happened in 2021 between teams and drivers. Too many of them trying out their new cars. And the comeback that Perez, I think he had the best season of his career so far, right?
Yep,
so
definitely. Yeah, and I think overall, it's not just that his driving skills, but I think also his technical skills with setting up the car. Because from what I have read everywhere is that he really worked with his engineers to set up the car correctly. Because it has been famously known that the Red Bulls favor Max's style of driving, and that's one of the major reasons that none of these other drivers were ever successful in Red Bull. Because they weren't experienced enough to set up their cars so well, like Pierre and Albon, who both were pretty much rookies at that time.
Right.
And since Perez is a veteran, he's been in the sport for a while. He had the knack for it, and he got results out of it. So
true.
Kudos.
True. That's a good observation as well. He did step up. He did step up when the team needed him, especially towards the end of the season, playing that amazing team member second fiddle to Max, because at that point you're not fighting Max, you're fighting Mercedes. He knew what his assignment was, and he didn't go for those wins.
He understood his assignment.
and he delivered. He definitely delivered.
Yeah.
I think
especially second fiddle. Since you say second fiddle, I have to give a shout out for Abu Dhabi. Because his, the toe that he gave to Max in the qualification and the fight with Hamilton, that was phenomenal. He completely proved his worth to the team, and I'm sure he's going to stay for it, in this team for a while.
Yeah, because you're not just helping your teammate, but you're also lifting your entire team up. If he would have delivered or been accustomed with the car from like race 3 or 4, that championship title for Mercedes would have also been sort of in trouble.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, talking about this other driver, someone called Max Verstappen.
Who's that guy? I've heard about him.
I hear he got some trophy for being on the top or something, but that's what she said.
Yeah, man.
But that guy's grown. We were talking about Perez's growth at Red Bull camp on 2021, but I think Max has grown throughout the years that he's been with Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lady Luck's also coming into playing some charm in. But he's evolved, man. He's evolved.
Definitely, man. I think his previous seasons have kind of led up to this season, because it seems kind of like the culmination of the mistakes that he made earlier. And he kind of worked on them. He did definitely still make a lot of mistakes this season too. Yes, we say for a lot of times like he had bad luck and stuff, but many of those times he could had been cooler and backed off at places, and maybe would have won the championship a lot earlier as well, very honestly speaking. But regardless, I think he has grown a lot. Fighting off Hamilton is no joke, and he gave in everything. So I'm just in awe of his season. Great performance.
And the calmness he's shown. Sure, there might be fireworks going within, but this season we've seen a different Max when it comes to press, when it comes to celebrations, when it comes to getting the job done situation. There's too much composition that's come from him. And you're right to point out, man, it's I think Bottas said this on one of the other podcasts where he was like, the best part about Hamilton is he never has bad days, except the Abu Dhabi one, but it wasn't his fault. But he never has bad days, right? And when you're up against something like that, it's so difficult to deliver, and boy, he delivered.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, of course, congrats to him for winning the championship, first of all, because, breaking Hamilton's streak, I'm sure like he had to give in everything. Yes, I mean, Abu Dhabi, he did get some good luck on his end, but I feel that balances out because he has had a lot of shit luck earlier, like the Baku incident and uh, the Silverstone incident and whatever. Yeah, man. His his celebration, dude.
Yeah, that was something.
Shitting on his opponents. I don't know where did he get that from.
I'm a shit on you sort of pose. Yeah.
That makes no sense, but yeah, it was funny regardless.
But while we talk about his growth, I think like the camp itself at Red Bull's grown quite a lot, right? Because the Spanish Grand Prix, let's if we go there, like there was a debacle. There was actually a battle of strategies between Red Bull camp versus Mercedes camp, and where Mercedes came out on the top. But Red Bull learned a lot from that race, even if they didn't get that P1, and we saw roles reversal on the French GP just a few weeks from there. Yep. But we've seen them sort of understand their mistake, and we've talked about, is this a repeat of Spanish Grand Prix? But it's never happened after that race.
Right.
So they have learned from what they made a mistake, and they have grown from there.
Yeah, definitely. Like another example I can remember is Abu Dhabi, honestly, because the risks that they took with the strategy, that paid off. If they hadn't pitted Max in those two instances, they would have been in no position to win that race. So regardless of what Massey did, they still put themselves in that position where they could take advantage of the situation.
Ballsy move.
Yeah, exactly. And Honda, man, like big shout out to them, because what started as GP2 engine went to win the world championship is something else, right?
Yeah. I can't remember who said this, or I can't remember this, but someone had said you can never.
Some rookie called as Alonso.
Yeah. Yeah, you know where this is going. You can never win championships with a Honda engine, those GP2 engines, and then
Yep.
I wonder what Alonso's thinking right now. But nonetheless, a great season from Red Bull, seeing them back on top 10 years from where Vettel had gotten them. Kudos to Christian Horner. Ferrari's been somewhat less spoken of this season, but boy, any other conversation that has happened about Ferrari is with respect to Sainz.
Yeah, man, he's definitely the driver of the season. I completely agree. And I mean, it was his first year in that car, and he beat his teammate. He did, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody else has been able to do that, right?
First season, new car, technically second driver.
Yeah.
He's like Perez too. He's gotten his best season of his career this year. So he's delivered. Yeah,
man. I'm really looking forward to Ferrari next year because I think they're gonna make a dent into not just the third place, but they might inch into the podiums more often, I think.
Yeah. What was surprising though overall for me for Ferrari was the Vettel departure was primarily showing that Ferraris missed their chances with car development. There's something going wrong in the camp, and we saw that in the preseason testing stuff too, right? Like Ferrari was nowhere close, and probably Aston Martin and anyone else could have come on top of Ferrari, but no, I think overall as the seasons progressed, they've showed that while they were third and a bit far behind, they aren't someone to still look down upon. So not everything's lost at Ferrari.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think on the other hand, right, like Charles has been having a lot of interesting things going on. Like first of all, the Monaco crash and quali, then they tried to fix it. It didn't work. He couldn't race. He hasn't able to. Yeah, right. I think he has that start, right? Never finished his home GP.
Never. So fingers crossed, 2022, he gets to do at least one lap. That'd be some progress over the last few years.
Yeah, one lap and then crash.
Yeah.
I want this start to go on for a while, and it would be
for some
fun.
Sadistic pleasure, right? Like 10 years, yep. Charles Leclerc never drove at Monaco.
Man.
But no, he completely...
If he listens to this...
I think
he does. Listens to this, he does, right? Yeah,
I think he does. Hey, Charles, what's up? Give us a shout out after this. But no, he flipped around his luck at British almost. Mm-hmm. Let me add that word. Because he was having he was having a shitty day. The Ferrari engine was almost giving up. I could be wrong here, but someone correct us in the comment. But I think it was British Grand Prix where his engine was giving up. He couldn't switch gears, and his engineers were telling him upshift, or something along those lines. And I'm like, dude, this guy's complaining about his engine, and you're asking him to change gears. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I remember him having a shitty day and still being the leader of the race before, obviously, Hamilton overtook and won the race. But he extracted every juice out of that car he could on that.
That's true. Yeah. No, man, he definitely has a lot of potential. But I think he is not able to cope with the current performance of the car, because it was clear back in 2019, right? Before it came to... before people found out that they're cheating, he was on fire, right? Like, I think at that point, everybody had thought that, Charles might be Verstappen. He might win this season, basically the next season. But I think this guy, Sainz, has been more comfortable in the car, at least in the current race.
True. You know what? Let's take a moment here for fans that have reached out to us and are, shout outs for the episode. The first one actually goes out to our good old friends at Cold Brew Money. You know what? These guys are doing something really amazing going into 2022. Do check out their YouTube channel, Cold Brew Money again. They've started investing money on their own portfolio, and they play around with it to showcase and demonstrate all the fundamentals that they've been sharing over their entire episode series of the podcast. They've started doing deep dives into the companies. Also, what they're also coming up is they now have tools and resources to analyze public companies. And on their website, coldbrew.money, they are going to have upcoming tools for valuing rental properties and retirement planners. So, don't miss them out. Check out their podcast on your favorite podcast streaming platform, and follow them on their socials, YouTube, and go check out their website, coldbrew.money. The second shout out goes to Desi Montana. He makes amazing music. Check him out on Spotify. He's got an amazing playlist that he's come up with. He's also our first fireside guest / host. Had an amazing time with him. Brilliant person. Go check him out on Spotify. Desi Montana. The third one goes out to a blog, Stats Human. Now this one has had a few F1 related blogs that have come out until 2020 and some in the 2021 timeframe. But if you are a fan of cricket, do check out his blogs. He's got the latest season of IPL blogged up completely. There's some nostalgia up there. Give him a shout out. Say and tag him that you found him through us. That is Statshuman, StatsHuman. And with that, if you want a shout out, all you got to do is just DM us. Again, no strings attached. We're doing this until the race season starts. So if there's anything you want to share, your brand, your message, just say hi. Reach out to us at @F1 Fanfiction on any of our socials, or just email us at contact@F1 Fanfiction. Thank you. As we go down the list, I think our talking points are going to go shorter and shorter because the highlights of the season stay more focused on the top people up there. But McLaren, next one on the grid. Ricciardo, again, same situation like Sainz, but he's not beyond that race win, obviously topping his career event out. Not quite a great season from him. I remember Lando lapping him a couple of times too.
Yes. It has been a very weird season for him, I think. And in general for McLaren, like they started off so strong with Lando, and at that time, Ricciardo was nowhere. Then Ricciardo somehow started, catching up with Lando. And then the team's performance started going down. And then Lando's performance started going down. And then Ricciardo's performance also started going down and then up again. I don't know what was going on in that gap.
Especially like after the 1-2, it was like, okay, we've packed bags. Oh yeah, you guys gonna race, right? Yeah, sure. Do that and I'll see you in 2022. That's...
Yeah, man, it really seemed that way. Yeah. I'm just looking at the results, right? Like there was... I see Italy 1, then it's 4 for Ricciardo, right?
Yeah.
1, then 4, then 13, then 5, then 12, then DNF, then 12, then 5, then 12. I mean...
Yeah. I think overall Lando has delivered to completely great this season, except, where experience comes into play. The rain that ruined his...
Oh yeah, what race was that? He could have won that. I do remember that very well. And then I think his engineers were asking him to pit. He didn't listen to them.
I don't remember.
Was it Russia? I think it was Russia. Yeah. I think so.
But man, we could have seen Lando P1, his first P1 position.
First win.
Yep. Well, I'm sure he learned quite a lot from that day. So it was kind of like a hindsight. It seems like he should have pitted, but I think he took a call based on his feeling in that cockpit. Made a mistake.
Yep.
That's all I can
let's
remember
go to the
from
next
McLaren.
team,
Yeah, exactly. Let's
go. Because there's nothing to talk about them. I don't know what they were doing. It's very weird. Moving on to Alpine. Alpine, they surprised me, man. I didn't have a lot of expectations from them, honestly speaking. But I think Alonso has gotten into his groove.
True. And it felt like Alonso was finally happy not driving a GP2 engine, because even with those P8s and P9s, he was so happy because his post-race commentary was, this engine just felt so amazing. And
I think it's primarily because, like, at the end of the day, they are fierce competitors. And I think in this car, he had the chops to, fight people, which he didn't have earlier. So I think that's why he was a lot happier, because he actually had to fight for those positions, scraping by, like getting those super leads at the starts with Kimi most of the times, and then
hand-holding each other, two friends. Hopping around in the park. Yeah.
And Vettel joining them sometimes. But amazing, right? Like Hungary, Ocon, P1.
Wow.
Alonso. Wow. That was
Hungary was Alpine's highlight, for Alpine, obviously, for Ocon, obviously, for old timers who are both Hamilton and Alonso fans. That race was a gem. That fight from Alonso was a gem. That win from Ocon, Hungary was too good.
Yeah, and all thanks to Bottas for knocking out half the field.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss him. He's gonna be back off the grid. The only damage he can then do is when people come and lap him.
No, dude, I can totally imagine. Monza turn 1. He comes in from behind.
Oh, that's right. Other people in the front are still braking, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, how can I miss that? Yeah, right. He can still do quite some damage. Okay.
Yep.
Why do I not miss Grosjean anymore?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but coming back to Alpine, Ocon, I think, has been doing pretty well. At the start of the season, it didn't seem like, but through the season, I think he has been consistent. Not many big performances except for his win, of course, but he's been consistent, if nothing.
Yeah. Except those 2-3 races after he signed his new contract for 2 years, he was like floating.
That was just vacation, man.
Yeah,
so,
that was vacation.
Don't blame him for that.
But I'm actually even looking forward to Alpine. Alonso's still there. More than anything, what I'm hopeful for is the veteran helping the team grow. And we've seen this in the past, right? Like Schumacher helped Mercedes grow. To then being backfilled by Lewis, and then they had a splendid run for 7 years. I am fingers crossed on this one for Alpine as well. I'm hoping Alonso does the same stuff, or whoever's filling his boots after that.
Yeah, though I think there have been coming some weird news from that camp, right? About, I think, I don't know the details about everything, but I think basically Alan Prost got his ass kicked from the team. The new team boss, I forget his name right now, but he's made a lot of changes, and I think they have hired this guy, right? Aston Martin's team principal. What's his name? I can never pronounce his name. It's some Schnaffauer or something.
Sure.
That guy.
Aston Martin's team principal.
Yep.
Keep it that.
So there are a lot of changes. So I think I am not very sure about their next season because of all the instabilities due to structural changes. But
Interesting.
Let's see. Let's hope it's not bad.
Interesting. Okay. But then speaking about Aston Martin, there's a similar stuff happening in that camp as well with the other veteran Vettel and rich kid Stroll.
Yep.
On paper, it feels like they didn't have a good season, but I think like they did have a good season.
They actually did, right? It's pretty weird. Like the points don't reflect it. I do agree, but a big part is Vettel's terrible luck, and the fact that FI completely hates him.
How can you forget that? That's so true. How many times, like, I think like he's gotten points for avoiding and trying to save his ass. So sure, he's gotten points for that. I can't remember like how many qualifications he's been sort of cock blocked by other drivers.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, like yellow flags, other drivers, all kinds of shit has happened with him. One of those was I don't remember which race right now, but there was this blockade that had formed at the last lap. I think, was it Spain? I think it was Spain.
The chicane is...
And killing. Of course, Vettel was the only guy who was punished for it. Then the P2 that he had gotten at, what was that, Hungary? Right?
Baku.
No, Baku, I think he held on to that, but the other one, the Hungary
the other one that he lost. Okay,
yeah. It was some stupid thing. Like they weren't able to extract the fuel because of some regulation, some bullshit. His P2 went away. I mean, I understand those are regulations. Like they have to follow the word of law, except for the last race. But
nice.
But they had to punish Vettel, of course. So they had to take away his P2.
True. Hey, we got the famous getting strolled.
Oh yeah,
that was born.
Monaco, isn't it?
It's the Rickrolled of this generation.
Yeah, man. I think at one point I was having like PTSD from it because I would be so afraid to click with any link.
Yeah, true. But I guess like amongst themselves, they were having a good season. Like Stroll helped Vettel get the maximum overtake thingy, just going back and forth with each other.
Especially in the last race, right? I totally remember that.
Yeah, I guess like I think they would have done this pre-race. Like, how many do I need? All right, so Stroll, let's do this. We've got 10 overtakes.
Pumping the numbers up, just like the stock market.
Short squeezing into the corners, yeah. But Aston Martin, I think I'm hearing some shifts around in Aston Martin as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing their camp as well.
Yeah, they have a new team principal, right? I think he is from the...
I can't remember.
I forget what team it is right now. Yeah, we're going to have to... Anyways, we are going to do an episode on this, right?
So, so a pre-season episode's coming, yes.
Exactly. Yep. I think we missed one team.
Alpha Tauri, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. They've had a strong season, man. It's... not exactly again, like not on paper, I agree. They could have done a lot more, but considering that they had a rookie and
it's all Gasly,
and
man.
Some bad luck for Gasly a lot of times.
But still, all of Alpha Tauri this season, I think was almost all Gasly. Dude, that guy is been a beast this season, yeah.
Yep, definitely. I think he deserves a better seat, man. I really hope. I don't see where he can end up, but I really hope that he gets a better seat, honestly.
Yeah. You shared an image on, I think you found on Reddit or something about some points thing and how they've made a good show for themselves over the years.
Yeah, right. I think this post that I'd seen on Reddit was basically the average points per race that Alpha Tauri has scored over the past few years. I think the chart is from 2010 till this year. And it's so awesome to look at the chart, how it has, exponentially grown. I mean, there was this one bump and then there was this one valley that they have there. But right. I think that was mainly because they switched to Honda from Renault, I think in 2018. But then look after that, the significant progress that they've made ever since. It's pretty awesome what they've achieved.
Tsunoda is also starting to sort of get comfortable. Too late in the game, way too late in the game, but... Yeah. I think like even we've said this in other episodes as well, but like he's even questioned his contract renewal at times with his cockiness and the way his season has started. But I think in the last 2-3 races, he's outshone himself.
Yep. Yeah, I think we talked about this earlier as well in some episode, but from what I've heard, it's basically that Albon was coaching him, which like really improved his game later on. Which, yep. It's pretty awesome. I really love that guy, Albon. I mean, first of all, he seems like a very genuine guy, very much like Vettel or of the likes,
Right.
And I think even though like the team has treated him poorly in the past, the fans have treated him poorly in the past, media as well. But I think that guy still has a lot of fight in him that, he stuck around. He made sure to help these guys before leaving and going to Williams, which is really awesome. And it shows, right? Like Red Bull made sure that he got a seat. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's the news, right? Like Christian genuinely vouched for the guy and he wanted this guy to get a seat, but he couldn't do it. So yeah, it's a good transition onto our next team, sir. Williams only has one driver, right? I don't think.
Yes.
No.
Of course, the second driver. By the way, folks, if you have heard the last episode, is according to Advait, the most worthless driver on the track.
Hey, not ours. We just try to stay as genuine and true as we can. So not.
Yeah.
But man, Russell, what was happening with him in that first half of the season? What was that? I again, see, I'm going out of words.
Yeah, man, Mr. Saturday, he used to just qualify into Q2 like nothing, like into top 10 like nothing. It was like, it had become a daily thing. Just, I would be surprised on days when I would not see him going into Q2.
Oh, that reminds me. my totally crazy prediction for 2021 so very came true, right? Like, which was Williams will score some points. Well, they didn't score some points. They scored way too many points.
Yep.
He did inch in closer to my prediction starting of the season itself, but I think now we know he's comfortably. My crazy ass prediction doesn't seem that bad now.
Yeah. Though one of the races, I think the points that they got was basically from Belgium, right? Which was the most non-race ever.
Yeah.
but still he qualified. But he qualified. So, that's there.
He was faster than a Mercedes there. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Alfa Romeo, I'm going to miss Kimi, man. I'm going to miss Kimi so hard. I think all our life, and I'm going to speak this for you as well, we've not seen a race without Kimi.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see him go. I mean, I'm kind of happy, honestly, that he went, because it was very clear that he was no longer invested in the sport.
Yeah.
And I definitely do agree that, there are far younger and better people out there who deserve the seat. So yes, it's good that he left because he made space for, the younger generation. But did he really? Because the person who's filling the seat is basically a pay driver. So
yeah, you said I was gonna interject. I was like, you said deserve a seat, and then I'm like, financially or talent?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna miss his fiddling. He keeps he creates a crash by fiddling. Like, what is this button? And remember Portugal, right? Like, he crashed into Gio by just fiddling.
It was very weird. I think it was a race restart or something, right? And or it was behind. Yeah, crazy things. I think even Kimi had some weird penalties. Of course, FIA being FIA gave him a penalty for what? He spun, right? Somewhere and something like that. I remember.
Yeah, he spun, he went onto the gravel and then came back. And by the time he came
yeah.
I think like Vettel and Kimi were racing. One overtook the other. This guy went to the gravel. And by the time he came out, he had a 5-second penalty or something. I'm like,
yeah, goodness. There were many weird things going on with Kimi this season overall. True. And of course, he was also one of the... No, I think he wasn't. Was he there on the top overtakes board?
He was the third. The three veterans were fighting for it.
And his blazing fast starts. I think there was this one race where I distinctly remember where Verstappen was talking later in the race, like in the media pen, that at the start of the race I saw an Alfa right behind, and I thought, like, what's going on exactly?
Yeah, Kimi is him being sprayed by Russell versus Bottas, and then Mola is like on radio. Yeah, this happened like 50 meters away. I know what. Yeah, misses radios, his press. But I don't much remember about Gio. What was Gio doing? The only things I remember were his two overtakes, one on Vettel and one on Kimi. That's it.
Yeah, man. Italian Jesus. He came to F1, but dude, that's what they call him.
Yeah, I know. But I hadn't heard it in so long, and then hearing it now, I was like, wow.
But yeah, that guy, I mean, I'm a fan of his because of his character. Like, he seems like a genuine dude. But he never has had a performance that, was really good as such. I mean, he was always just passing the bar, but not going beyond it, I would say. So, yeah.
Yeah. The 10th team on the grid, Haas.
Yeah.
Mazepin. Oh man, I think he was on a killing spree this season.
Is he there next year? He is, right?
Dude,
I was hoping
you can't take paid drivers out of this race. In fact, Papa Mazepin got him a new car.
Oh yes, right. He got a new chassis, right? Like in the last race or something.
Yeah.
Where did he end up though? 20th, right?
Oh, he didn't. No, you're wrong. 21st. Kubica is 20th.
Yes, like how can I forget that? Man, that's
some real life burn, right?
For a second, when you said 21st, I thought like you're joking. Okay, but then I remembered, oh yes, there was Kubica as
well. Oh man. He's either himself spun on the tracks, or like he's taken other people out with him. He was almost gonna kill Schumacher on Baku and maybe Monaco as well. Vettel multiple times, sure.
Yep.
What was happening with him? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Who cares? But I guess moreover, I would say that Mick Schumacher, I think it's good that he has gotten an opportunity to like be in a shit team right now, honestly, because like he can get all his mistakes out, before getting a better team. But at the same time, he also runs the risk of if he's stuck in this team for a long time, he might never even get an opportunity to really prove himself. So for his sake, he should try and get away from it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's got good mentorship with Vettel. So we saw some good moments between them through the season. So I'm hoping something pans out for him. Maybe he fills in Vettel's seat in 2 seasons whenever Vettel retires. But one thing we can't skip this season without mentioning FIA Broadcasting and Commentary. Oh man, what a shit show! What a shit show that was.
Yeah, man. I mean, the commentary, there needs to be a change, man. Like, there has to be some neutral commentary. It's a global sport. You cannot have biased commentators. It's no fun. And man, keep the bias out. That's it. Doesn't make sense.
The only good thing I can remember is them evolving over time and then bringing in multiple other commentators and not being fixated on the 2 people that usually keep talking. Rosberg came in a couple of times. They went down to the garage and stuff. So that was good.
Yeah.
But shit show nonetheless. Crofty, British bias media. When Hamilton won in Britain, he said Ham got best out of Max. What a shitty sentence to say. Someone who just ran into a 51G crash. Come on.
Man, though I do hate the bias that they bring in, but they still do put on a very good show, honestly. If I ignore the red button, I mean, there are a lot of conditions that I have to apply first, but if I apply all those conditions...
Dude, the time you will spend in mentioning those conditions is going to be thrice the amount of time you're going to spend saying, but they should do this. So let's not, please.
Yes.
No, but I see you're playing devil's advocate there. This season would not have been this entertaining if it wasn't for their shenanigans. I get that. That's true. That's true. Well, I hope they take our last suggestion. And I know F1's listening to this because we've seen multiple of our suggestions come through. Our last suggestion is please don't cut your cut to race replays on lap 2. We still want to see who's fighting there. Please don't. Please don't.
Yep. Please don't.
So then this brings us, folks, to our last segment. Sarang, take it away.
Well. I think we have a new section for this season, and we are calling it awards. Just awards. That's it. Because we don't give anything. Yeah.
All you get is fun, entertainment. And no one gets anything. We get nothing.
Anyways, so basically for this category, we were tweeting out, on Twitter and asking, tweeting out polls on Twitter and asking you guys for your opinions about who takes these awards. And we'll just go through each category and tell out what the nominations were and who won. And I think that's how it will go about. So let's dive to the first Twitter category. So the first question that we tweeted out was, which is the best track for overtaking in 2021? And the nominations were Portugal GP, Bahrain GP, Russian GP, and French GP. And well, it was a tie. So it was a tie between Bahrain, Russia, and French. But I think we'll break the tie.
Yeah.
So, Akash, what do you think?
Drum roll for who the winner was. I think Bahrain. Bahrain was
right? Yeah.
Bahrain was a good.
Yeah, I think that was the most entertaining among all these races. So, yeah, Bahrain takes it. I think Bahrain is generally a good race. So, especially it's most of the time the first race. Anyways, so let's go to the second question. The second question was, which was the best defense in the 2021 season? And the nominations were Alonso versus Hamilton in Hungary, Perez versus Hamilton in Abu Dhabi, Tsunoda versus Hamilton in Turkey, and Perez versus Hamilton in Turkey. And of course, the winner is Perez and Hamilton in Abu Dhabi because, yeah, man.
Unanimous.
It was unanimous. I think it was 47%. So I think people spoke. And Tsunoda and Hamilton got 0 votes.
That guy gets lesser credit.
Yep.
Next one.
Yeah. Anyways, on to the next one. The next one was, of course, which was the shittiest penalty or lack thereof in the 2021 season of F1. And the nominations were Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain GP for all the track limit nonsense that went by, and Austrian GP for, just penalties here and there. And of course, the unanimous winner.
I knew, we knew who was going to win in this one.
Honestly speaking, I didn't even know why I tweeted this because I knew what the answer is going to be.
Shittiest
of
FIA
course,
day.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Just in case if anybody is guessing, so Abu Dhabi is the winner.
Why are you guessing? No.
Yep. Yes. And the last question that we polled about was which was the worst track in 2021 season. And again, here I knew what the answer is going to be before I polled this, but still I'll go through it. The nominations were Saudi Arabia, the Spanish GP, Russian GP, and Monaco GP, and of course, Saudi Arabian GP.
It's a death trap.
Or the loser, whatever you want to call it.
That track is a death trap.
Yep, they won the award. Well, I think let's go to the last category, which I don't know if listeners are even aware about this, honestly.
No, I don't think they are.
But along with these podcasts, we also publish a page on our website, which kind of summarizes the episode, the show notes are there, and we also rate each individual driver. So what we did was we basically took an average of all the points that we have awarded through the season to drivers and took an average for my ratings and Akash's ratings. And so we have a winner for the driver's points table. And it's super surprising.
It is.
Yes, right.
Behold.
So the winner was none other than Lewis Hamilton.
By 1 point. By
1 point, yes. And I mean, that guy deserves it, man. No matter what, he fights like hell. I think our points show that, right? Even though a lot of times we have criticized him a lot, but the points kind of do show that he does perform at that level.
Well, it's been a lovely F1 2021 season. More than that, it's been a fantastic season 1 for F1 Fanfiction. Thank you again, each and every one of you who's made it this far into the episode. We promise to keep bringing you more exciting and even more thrilling episodes in 2022. We've got some amazing stuff planned, which obviously we can't reveal because if it doesn't go through, you're going to shit on us. But we are hopeful. We are hopeful to make this year a step up game from 2021. So fingers crossed there. We will see you when we start season 2, which is going to be a pre-season discussion, livery, thoughts, and our look into 2022. And again, we come back with crazy ass predictions for 2022. Maybe the Hulk returns. Sarang's prediction is still on. Maybe the Hulk returns. Until the next episode, folks, this is Season 1 F1 Fanfiction signing off.
Bye-bye.